Ayy, Brewski, I'm in my zone like a 2-3. Would sue me, urban gorilla, no Gucci. Yeah, the scriptures I be kicking like Bruce Lee. Check my precepts, raw than sushi. Summertime, so I stay in the cool B. On the corner throwing bumps like I'm Drew Brees. Yeah, tap out for your how we bringing them gas out. Cut a heathen cause he running his fat mouth. Off the dribble, I be balling like.
What's going on, man? Come over here, let me talk to you. Yeah. Read.
Verse 4, their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear.
Like I said, that 12-year-old girl that was up here pleading her case, I mean, like I said, she had a respectable, thought process, even though she said she's, bisexual, this madness, but she don't know what's going on. She learned exactly what the Christian church taught her. But what's going on, man? You understand what's going on? What's your nationality?
I'm from Australia.
Australia? You live here now?
No, I'm visiting.
Oh, you're visiting. How long have you been here?
Been here about 10 days.
10 days? When are you going back?
3 months tour.
Oh, you're on sabbatical or something?
It's the ESTA visa is what it is.
What is that?
It's a 3-month, 90 days maximum that I can be here, so without working.
Okay, so is that just what they gave you in Australia to come here?
No, it's like an American, like a law. You can't
Yeah.
stay any longer than 90 days unless you have a working visa.
I understand that. What are you doing here? Just seeing sights and traveling the country or what?
Traveling, I'm a photographer, so I'm traveling around. Going to New York. It's the birth month of hip hop in August. So there's a lot of culture going on. So yeah, I'm gonna
A lot of black culture. What about your culture? What is Australian culture like?
In what sense? Like the Australian culture is?
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Just because you would consider yourself European?
No, I don't consider myself European. I have European heritage.
Yeah, you're European though, right?
Yeah.
What part of Europe are your parents from, or your grandparents?
So I've got German, I've got Scottish,
Uh-huh.
and I've got English in my blood.
Okay, yeah, you sound kind of Scottish though.
A little bit.
Yeah, I understand that. So as far as the Australian culture, how did Europeans get to Australia?
How did they get there?
How did they get there? What's that?
By boat.
By boat.
Yes.
Were you guys, huh? Well, yeah, but how did you guys get there though? Like, how did you take over and how did you establish your country?
It wasn't in a good way.
It wasn't in a good way.
Not at all, man.
What about America?
I don't know a lot about American history, so I can't comment on that.
But do Europeans run America too?
I don't know.
You don't? Is Joe Biden in charge of America?
Yes, as far as I'm aware.
Okay. What about the military?
Don't know a lot about it.
Don't know a lot about it? Okay. So I would say the same way Europeans got in Australia is the same way Europeans got America. Because they're not indigenous to Australia, right?
No. They're not. And it's something that over the years, when I was at school,
Uh-huh.
we were taught something completely different.
Wow.
I work in a school. I'm a youth worker.
Okay.
So I work in a school now, and we teach. It's something different to what I learned when I was younger. The thing about it is, we were lied to as young people, and we didn't know.
What were you lied about? What was the lie actually?
Well, when I was.
You mean in Jeremiah 16? Go ahead.
When I was younger, what we got told was Captain Cook, which is the
Captain Cook.
Honestly, man, we got
Lord in
told,
Christ.
we got told that.
I believe it.
And that's what it was. Like, I didn't have a choice until I got older to understand through, I guess, my own maturity and education to learn what really happened.
So what's the story of Captain Cook? What was that story about? Because I've seen the movies, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What was his thing?
So basically, he was the guy who led the fleets to come to Australia and originally took over from the indigenous people. And when that happened, he was looked at by like white people and European settlers as the king. He got there,
Yeah, definitely.
But for the indigenous people of Australia, he killed them. They
Of course.
slaughtered these people, man.
Yeah.
And what it is, as far as I understand, it's something that Australia is still trying to recover from. And I'm sure it's the same here and in different countries.
Absolutely.
But I can't comment on it here, bro, because I don't know. I'm not educated.
Yeah, that's why I asked you about Australia, because I'm telling you it's the same thing that happened here.
Yeah.
But you're saying they're trying to recover from it. What would be that method of madness, or method of remedy?
Well, what happened in 2007, we had a Prime Minister called Kevin Rudd, and he brought forward this new, I don't know if it was like a law or a plea to say sorry to the indigenous people. And I never understood that because I was like, if you're gonna say sorry, like how are you sorry? Like, you know, just,
Yeah, it's just words, right?
That's what I mean.
How y'all sisters and brothers doing?
So it's really something that what I can see getting implemented now in Australia is when people talk about this sort of stuff at the start of every speech, at the start of any sort of formal education or anything, they always start off with who is the traditional owners of the land. Now, that is something that I see and I hear it every day, and I can understand why they're doing that now.
So it's like a crash course in what the history that you're saying that's missing there.
Well, I think it's really more recognition of the history as opposed to like, we're sorry, it's more recognition of what's happened.
So they're basically teaching people about it, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, 100%.
But what about doing anything about it? What about giving people the land? What about giving people that originally are from there the land back and control?
Well, ideally, I'm for that.
You're for that.
Don't get me wrong, man. Like, don't get it twisted. I'm for that.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because you're not in a position of power, but I'm just saying the same thing you're referencing in Australia goes on in America, because they're all Europeans, right? Some went west, some went east, some went south, some stayed in Europe. They still run the world, right? Every continent, I'm pretty sure Europeans run. They're right or wrong.
No, you're right. 100%.
So I'm telling you in reference to just that ideology, that doesn't help anybody. Do you agree? Just telling me that, oh, indigenous people used to run this place, that's not going to do anything for them. You know what I mean? And that's why we're out here, because we're the people that were oppressed on this side of the earth. So you've been here 10 days, I'm just going to educate you before you go back. You said you can go to New York, go to some hip-hop, function. Fine. Hip-hop is a global phenomenon, started by our people in New York, like you said, and it's worldwide. It's popular because we made it popular. Give me that in Matthew 5, real quick. You believe in the Bible?
I grew up educated with, under the
Matthew 5?
I have never sat down and read the Bible, man, so I can't say that I believe everything. The stuff that I have heard from the Bible, I think it's got a very deep and important more of a, what's the word? It's
like a metaphor or allegory?
Metaphorical is the word I'm looking for. Yeah, it's metaphorical in sense where I hear certain things from the Bible and I can understand that it's powerful. But to be honest with you, man, I never sat down and read it, so I can't comment on it.
Is there like religious factions in Australia, like Christians and Muslims and things like that?
There's a lot, man. It's very, where I come from in Melbourne, it's multicultural. It's the most multicultural city in Australia. So we have a lot of diversity there.
But do they push religion like on people though? Like, is it like evangelizing, things like that, or is it just you just go there and learn if you want to, tap into that?
It's a lot in the school system. So when I was younger, I went to a Christian-based school.
Oh, okay.
And even when I was younger than that, I was brought up with like Lutheran tradition, which is a sect of Christianity.
Yeah, of course.
And as I got older, I'm not into it as much as I once was, to be honest with you.
I understand that.
But it's something that I guess the morals that I learned from that when I was younger, I can carry on with me. But these days, I don't focus on it as much as I did when I was younger.
What about the government of Australia? Would you say they have the morals of the Bible?
Dude, politics, I think no matter where you are, they're not going to give you the wholehearted truth of what's going on. Like,
Interesting. Who runs the politics in Australia? Europeans, right?
Europeans,
Yeah, there's a common theme that's being painted right now, right? Europeans getting in positions of power, usurp authority over the people that are originally from the land, and then push a certain agenda. Religion isn't necessarily bad, but I'm just saying as far as how it's taught, especially this Catholic Church. There's a Catholic Church right across the street. There's idols in there. They say, you have to do all these type of rituals to be saved, things like that, which is not in the Bible. So that's a lie in our eyes. Would you agree? You don't read the Bible, but I'm just saying there's no passage in the Bible that says you have to do these certain rituals that go on in the Catholic Church. Especially idolatry. There's a lot of idols in there, and idolatry is the number one sin according to the Bible. So I'm just letting you know, you as a European man, you will be a culprit of your ancestors. Would you agree with that? Because you wouldn't be in Australia if it wasn't for your ancestors.
No, I wouldn't, and I understand that.
And that's why I told you earlier, people tell me, people, not even because our people are in Australia as well. My best friend's brother has lived in Australia for years. But I'm just saying, as far as the indigenous people that are from there, telling them you're sorry without leaving, it's just smoking on it. I'm gonna get to you in a second. Hold on. I'm gonna get to you in a second. So I was saying, them saying that, just like in America, they pass all these constitutional laws and things like that, preamble, whatever the case may be. But on the street level, not in the government level, but on the street level, they're still killing us. They're still passing laws to oppress us. They create everything. All praises. Get them people a flyer. Get them a flyer. Let me. Yeah, get right here. Yeah, let me give you some literature. Since you in a rush. Yeah, right here. He got you, brother. All praises. But that's our message. Our message. You see that sign? Do you agree with the sign?
To be honest, I don't understand exactly what the sign means.
Well, that's what we're referencing right now. I'm basically walking you down somewhere. The history of the Caucasian race, the European man, it's not a good history, a track record, right? Because we know, I started out with Australia, came to America, Africa, we all know what happened in Africa. Slavery, slaves came from Africa, came to America. You at least know that much, right? When the Americans or the Europeans came to America, they enslaved and murdered the Indians here. And now you guys are in charge here. So like I said, all around the globe, you colonize the world. You colonize Australia and America. So white people aren't going to give up their power. They're never going to give up their power. They can say sorry all they want. That's not going to change how I feel. And more importantly, it's not going to change how God sees you. Because that's why we say God hates white people, because of your actions, of what you've done in the earth. You know what I mean? Give me that. Where you at? Let me read you something. Let me read you one verse. I don't know how much time you got. Oh yeah, give me 16 and 16. 3 and 16. My bad. Give me that second Ezra or second Maccabees. Second Maccabees 6. I'm gonna read you a couple things, and I want to see how you feel about it, based on our premise, based on the sign, and based on the information we were given. Second Maccabees 6 and 12. You know what I want? No, I want our fathers have inherited lives. That's what I want. Is it Jeremiah 16? Yeah, we gonna get to you in a second, man. You gotta be patient. Give me this.
Jeremiah 16 and 19. O Lord, my strength, my fortress, my refuge in the day of affliction.
Talking about the Israelites, Black, Hispanic, Native Americans. Read.
The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the...
Yeah, you'll be considered a Gentile. You're familiar with that terminology, right? So the Bible is based upon the Israelites. So there's Jews and there's Israelites, and then whoever's not a Jew or an Israelite will be considered a Gentile. So we will be the Israelites, you will be a Gentile. Can you read?
The Gentile, okay. O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from...
Gentiles are going to come unto us, what?
From the ends of the earth.
From Australia. What's your name? Sam. Sam from Australia. You're going to come to us from the end of the world, read.
And shall say...
What is he going to say?
Surely our fathers have inherited lies.
Didn't you just say that earlier? You said earlier, right? Right out of the Bible. Brother, hey, you too loud, man. You gotta chill out. Chill out.
Why are you preaching hate?
Listen, we'll get to you. Be patient, man. We're talking to one person at a time. You're third in line. We're talking to the other dude left. Did he leave? Oh, we're gonna talk to him second. I'm gonna read this verse, and I'm gonna get to him, and I'm gonna get to you. Go ahead.
Surely our fathers have inherited lies.
Those lies you inherited? What? God loves everybody? Even though you didn't say that. I'm gonna say that's what they teach in the church. We're not talking to you. I'm not. Man, can you be patient? Can you be patient? You're being rude right now. You're being rude. You're being rude. I'm gonna get to that. I'm talking to him. You're being rude right now. Stop talking to me. Read.
Vanity.
You don't know a damn thing. Read.
Surely our fathers have inherited lies. Vanity.
Vanity. Read.
And things wherein there is no profit.
There's no profit in that. The white man running the earth is no profit because he's not good to everybody. He passes laws to keep him in power, oppress everybody else. Guess what? Uganda just found what? How many trillion tons of gold? You know the white man gonna be over there right now, taking that gold from him. a land is not theirs, they want that gold because that's what they care about. All they care about is money and power. That's it. That's all the white man respects. That's why when in the 1960s, that sitting that they did on the buses that Martin Luther King read, they was like, man, we got to get these black people on par. Because they affecting our money now. Because all the black people in the South were taking buses. When we stopped taking them buses for a whole year and a half, white man's like, man, we got to do something about this. We got to integrate. We're missing out on so much money. Just like when we did Black Wall Street. They bombed Black Wall Street because black people had their own cities, own culture, own businesses, and they bombed it because they weren't getting a piece of the pie. That's what happened. That was 100 years ago. That's a little bit of history for you in Oklahoma. When you think about Oklahoma, 1921, that was 100 years ago. We're talking about Oklahoma, Black Wall Street. We're going to talk about Georgia too. I'm just saying, Black Wall Street was 100 years ago where black people ran their own businesses, their own country, their own airports, dentists, doctors. White man came and bombed it. Is that terrorism?
Yeah, it is. I would say
in their own country, right? But why would they do that if we're all the same people? If we're all equal in a sense? How y'all sisters doing? And Philadelphia, 1985. They did it in 1985 in Philadelphia. But that's what we're teaching you. Your people have to get judged for that. Would you say that's karma or that's righteous karma in defense of that?
I don't know enough about that, to be honest. But for me,
You just explained it to me. It happened in Australia.
It did. But what I'm saying is, for me, like, because I do have to get going. But I
I'm sure.
I wanted to give a listening ear to you. Because I'm not here to argue with anybody.
I'm not here to argue either. We're just telling the truth.
No, I get you, and I'm listening, and I respect what you're doing because you have a passion about what
Absolutely.
you're doing. For me, I didn't come here to harm anybody in any sense of...
But your ancestors did.
I know they did. I understand that. But for me, I'm not here to represent what my ancestors have done. I'm here to actually...
But you do that by default, by being here.
Right.
You're doing it by default because you wouldn't be here if your ancestors didn't kill for it.
I understand.
That's the point. So when you go to New York, you're gonna experience all that black culture, breathe it in, take pictures, all that type of stuff. You have a website?
I do, yes.
I want to see your website. But anyways, that's the point. When you go to New York, you're gonna be a fish out of water. You're gonna look like, what is the white man doing here? Obviously, black culture is people, they eat off of it. But at the end of the day, white people stole everything from us. They patented things, inventions. But if they can't control it, either they're gonna steal it from you or kill you, so you can't put that idea out in the world.
Which I don't think is fair or good at all in any sense.
And that's why your people gotta go.
But look, I'm gonna bounce, man.
Nope.
On you, I respect what you're doing.
Definitely, Sam. When you go back to Australia, tell you met the Hebrew Israelites, man.
Say that again. The
Hebrew Israelites. And tell your people that they're going into slavery.
You're gonna see some.
And you're gonna see some in New York too.